What's up, guys? This is Rec from the forum, part of Team DIY Mobile Audio. This is my 2003 Volkswagen GTi 1.8T. How's it going? So yeah, basically I have tweeters mounted in the stock locations. I have mid-basses mounted in the stock doors, and I have subwoofers in the back. I wanted to stick into a stock class so that I can compete with the team instead of against the team. So I kind of reformatted my car to fit the category of mecha. So obviously these are my 6.5-inch speakers, because I had to keep the stock door panels. I couldn't cut anything. So these are Exodus Anarchy 6.5 mid-bass, and then I have Vifa ring radiator tweeters mounted in stock locations, and they're actually not in the stock locations. They are, but they're not. There's a little grill that goes right in here that's made of plastic, and it's part of the A-pillar. What I did was the tweeter that comes with the car is mounted to that. I had to Dremel it all out and stuff, and there's like a little metal insert that goes over the front where the grill is that pops out. So I cut the tweeter out, put the grill back in, and sunk the ring radiator, took the flange off, and sunk it way back in there. It's probably a good 2 inches back, almost inside the rear view mirror cavity. The motor of it is back in there about halfway. So I get the most width out of it. As you can see, it's kind of a thick thing here, and it sticks out a little bit. So the tweeter is almost way back here, and it gives me quite a big distance. They're mounted, and aiming is mount up here where the dome light in those cars is. Mine's up forward or whatever. So that's the case with that, and time correction and all of this stuff to get a good center image. I used to have horns. Obviously you don't see them down there because I don't have them anymore. It's just time to move on, I guess. I had them for like 7 years. They're awesome. It's just I want to move on, you know. So this is my Alpine H701 combo and my Alpine DVA-9861. It's awesome because it has optical output. See the little red light means optical, I guess. Who knows? And then this guy is my Motorola home dock that I mounted inside my what used to be a cup holder, so that I can get cool functionality on my phone. I like having GPS for road trips. These things are notorious for getting super hot. All my droids have been real hot when you do GPS navigation for 6 or 7 hours. So I take this cool little air vent and it blows on it, keeps it cool, charges it. Awesome, love it. A lot of people don't have this kind of stuff. And yeah, that's where I live, and that's sweet. That's the ocean right there, and that's my house. As you can see, that's where I'm living. It's pretty sweet. Love living next to the beach. So yeah, most of you guys have seen Alpine stuff, so I'm not going to go into detail about how this works, but obviously you see the buttons right there. I got parametric or graphic EQ, I got crossovers, time correction. I can do an auto thing. I don't think I've ever even used it, and this just turns it all off. The cool thing is that this is connected to this via iNet. That means there's a cable that goes in from here all the way back to the brain, and a cable from here all the way back to the brain. This is just a wired remote that pops out, and basically I can do active crossovers for 6 channels. Well, if you count the subwoofer, I can do 8 channels, but these 2 channels are limited in stuff they could do. And the volume for the head unit, since it's optical, is always one level. So it's controlled after the digital analog conversion in the brain of the processor in the back of the car. But this volume is controlling the H701 brain, and this doesn't do anything, right? The other cool thing is the balance and fade, subwoofer controls, all this stuff is actually this stuff. It's not in the head unit, it's actually the H701, which is very, very cool, and I can mess with that without having to. So if I want to go and do graphic stuff and mess with crossovers, I can balance this all the way to the right and listen to those speakers and do time correction, and then balance back to the left and listen to these speakers and do time correction, so I don't have to keep going in and out of these menus 5-6 times just to do time correction on one speaker. So I can balance to the right, then I can fade forward, and just the tweeter is playing now. And then I want to balance back, and now I can do the same thing on this one, then do this one, and so forth, so I don't have to go through all these menus a bunch of time. I can just adjust the levels or what have you that way. I found it's way easier to do it like that than it is to do it by using the Alpine H701 menus. Turn speakers on and off, and I don't know. I don't like it. Yeah, I already did that one. There we go. Alright, now we're centered again. So, this is my crossover stuff. This is my, let's start with the front speaker. I don't have anything on the center or the front two channels. The front left is my tweeter, playing from 3.2 thousand hertz all the way up to 20,000 hertz with a 24 decibels per octave crossover. The rear channel is my door speakers. They're playing from 63 hertz at 24 decibels per octave to 2.8 thousand hertz at 24 decibels per octave. It's important to use crossovers that are the same because you get a phase change out of the speakers. It's more important at low frequencies, the 63 and where the mids and stuff cross, because lower frequencies are more susceptible to spatial imaging from as for phase down low, whereas up top it's amplitude. So all the tweeters and stuff, it's really important to have all the speakers level match, but more important for a tweeter than a mid bass or anything like that. I apologize if I keep covering this microphone up. It's right where I hold it. It's a pain in the ass. So yeah, so that's that, and the subwoofer is set to 20 hertz to 45. The quirky thing about the H701 is you can see right here what the bandpass looks like, and what happens is when you turn it on and it's set to default, everything's set to flat. Once you change this number from 0 to 20, it won't let you roll back to 0. So for whatever reason, I accidentally turned the knob and now it's stuck at 20. Or no, it's when you change the crossover slope. So if you turn the crossover slope on, you can't turn it back off, which I think is kind of stupid. That's why on the top end, for my, like these ones for example, if I go and raise the volume here, you can see where this side is flat, right? And if I go into this, I can change the crossover slope from off to 6, but now I can't go back to off. It won't let me, and it's really annoying. So you have to reset your H701 in order to get that to go back to off and get a flat top end. So if you attenuate your tweeters or whatever, now you're stuck into having a 6 decibels per octave on the top, where some people, most people, wouldn't want to attenuate that, which kind of sucks. So yeah, luckily there's nothing on that channel, so I'll just put this back on to 0. Okay, so the other thing is 31 band graphic EQ. You can also use a parametric EQ, but you have to select one of the two. You can't have both. So with the new stuff coming out, you can do both. And I don't have my RTA here. This is left and right differences. You try not to boost everything, you try and cut everything. The sub is boosted a little bit down here, but otherwise it's pretty much cut everything. Every time you boost by 3 decibels, you get some distortion, so try and stay away from that stuff. Yeah, so it shows right here, the G is graphic EQ. If I hit the parametric EQ button, that would change to a P, and that way you can tell which one you're using. There's an auto correction thing here, which I never use, and then defeat just turns everything in here off and gives you, might break your speaker, so don't press that button. And then time correction and phase adjustment. Obviously we all know what this is, but I can adjust my time correction. I can do 180-degree phase changes per speaker. It adjusts in 0.05 milliseconds increments. So yeah, that's the head unit setup, and like I said, it's just this cool little thing. So pop it out when I'm going on road trips and parking in parking lots and stuff. All right, I'll show you the subs now. Let's get back there. Let's get this up. All right, this is my wife's car. It's this cool little thing I did. Some vinyl action right there. It's pretty sweet. I love it. It's fun to drive. So this is the little grill. I only have it in there because people try and look in your trunk, and who knows who's going to try and steal something. So this is the IDMaxes. I used to have IDQ15s in here. As you can see, the hole's a little bit bigger, and I had to retrofit things that fit in there so I can put the 12s in. But the 12s have more throw. They handle the IB better, but there's less cone area, so a little sand on it. It's good when you live on the beach. Cool thing is, these are Mosconi AS200.4s. I have 8 channels. I'm currently using all of them. If you look here, one is for the left and this one is for the right. This is the subwoofer, and these are the front 2 speakers. Basically the way I have it set up is that these two channels are bridged, and if you look, there's a pass-through button right here that lets me, I'm sorry if I cover that microphone up again, that lets me pass through so both of these inputs run off the single RCA, which is a very cool feature that you don't see in amps very often, and I think that all of them should have it. So that lets me, do that, and it's very cool. So if I wanted this amp to run off one RCA input, I could do that. The other cool thing is each channel is suitable down to 1 ohm on a 4-channel amp, which doesn't have an Alvin either. So this thing puts out a serious amount of wattage for these two subs, bridging the two channels. It's bridged at 2 ohms on this. Each channel does 400 watts at 4 ohms. Do the math. So yeah. So those are the subs, and those are my quick disconnects up there. If I want to take this baffle out, just take the bolts off. Do this. The bolts, what I'm talking about, are right here and right there. Basically, this thing is bolted to the frame of the car, and I'll show you this. This is the original amplifier sound box. Stock amplifier was back here. I put a slit in here so I can still access it because there's another connector down there that holds it closed. So I turn this guy right here, open this up. Now I have all my fuses and my extensions. The cool thing is I thought about putting a second pair of speaker wire up in here in case I wanted to go 3-way active just for the future. So if I ever want to switch some stuff out, that's cool. That's my factory ground up there. That goes to my ground distribution block. These are obviously my fused distribution block with A&L fuses and all that good stuff. The left one is H701, the other two goes straight to the amps. So it's pretty convenient to have a power source right there. It's about a little L bracket, so it stays out of the way. If you look up here, this is the bar that supports the subwoofer. There's a little lip in the baffle here that holds it on, and it's mounted right here to the frame of the car, and it's all welded together. And this one goes right behind here, and there's a bolt that holds it in place on both sides, so keeps it nice and tight and doesn't shake at all. The other cool thing about my trunk is that I have trunk space. This amp rack was made at Syracuse Customs with the help of Tom and Steve, very cool guys up in Syracuse, New York, and it's made of aluminum and carpeted. And as you can see, I have these two is tiered, so this side is connected to this side's connected to the ground, and the floorboard is bolted to the car, so none of this stuff goes anywhere. It's nice and sturdy. This is the H701 brain, and that's my ground distribution block under there. So it's actually really small and convenient. The cool thing about the trunk is that I still retain full functionality as far as spare tires concerned. I just take out these two panels right here, and now I have a full-size spare that I can use, and I don't have to move anything. I've already used it once. Had a flat tire a little while ago and had to pull this out and didn't have to touch the subs, didn't have to touch the amps, just slid right out of there. It's beautiful. That's CCF. I got Deadener Showdown pretty much in the whole interior of my car, except for back in the trunk. That mass load of vinyl is really tough stuff to work with, so I don't have it all back there. But other than that, that's pretty much the car. Let me put this stuff away real quick. Sorry about the long-winded video. Kind of going on and on. And it's that easy. Back to space again. Some jets flying over. I live right near the Navy base, so that's where I work when I live close, kind of thing, you know. There we go. I know the grill's ugly. Don't beat me up for it. It's on backwards. Who cares? So yeah. You obviously can't tell.